And I think I remember going in with because it happened at I don't know, it came on news, didn't it, and the evening. And we were just going for work, and I was like, Mum, Caroline's vaccinated. And it was like a bit of silence. He's like, no, shut up. I'm like, yeah, no, she's dead.
There's a lot of people online that constantly criticise him, and that no matter who you are, no matter how strong and thick-skinned you are, that's going to hurt.
I'll say good evening. Spanish.
Hello and welcome to the Talking Head podcast. My name is Taylor, and welcome back if you've joined us before. If not, this podcast is basically where we talk about mental health awareness and the issues that surround it, and basically just have a nice, jolly old time and talk about issues that are very, very important and often under-talked about. So previous topics have varied from OCD, toxic masculinity, body image, to stories about people's own issues. So yeah, there's a lot out there, and by the time this comes out, there'll be a lot to explore if you haven't explored anything before. So I would urge you to go and see that, but see that after, because we're about to delve into today's topic, which is mental health in the media. Today I'm going to be joined by a very good friend of mine, Lewis. Do you want to say hello?
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing on this? I'm good. How are you doing on this Thursday evening?
I'm good, mate. I got my day off tomorrow, so looking forward to that and just chill out.
Yeah. I should mention we've both probably had quite long days already. What time is it now? It's 9:45. So yeah, I've already had a bath, so I'm clean. I'm all right, but I'm still knackered. So today's topic is something we said we wanted to do a podcast, but we weren't sure on what we wanted to do. We just wanted to talk, and then we've just thought of the topic about something that is I think more poignant this year than it has ever been, and that's mental health in the media. We'll obviously go into that, but just before we do, I'd just like to ask you what's been something that's been a positive in your week this week.
I'm trying to think. I suppose yesterday at work when we were all kind of just having a laugh, man. We were meant to be going home at 5, like dead on 5. Just about to leave. Delivery turns up. Got to bring it in, and it's just it was chaos, but it was a laugh.
That's the thing. I think when it's chaos,
everyone just wants to go home.
Yeah, I think when it's chaos, I don't know. It's sometimes a bit more fun.
But yeah, that was quite funny. I mean, to be fair, I've not done much this week. So.
I think my best would be, I was going to say I saw Shaun of the Dead at a drive-in cinema, but I kind of want to go down the retail route now you've mentioned it. Tomorrow, face masks or face coverings, which is I think what they're having to call, because face coverings is a bit more general.
Because the bloke on ITV News says a bandana. That's what he said. A bandana.
They're being made mandatory in shops in the UK, and I work in a shop, and it would just be nice so that because I've had customers come up into my face all the time, and it's just a bit unneeded when in my own bubble I've got my grandma who's sheltered. It's just I don't need. I mean, I wear a mask anyway, but it'll just be nice. It'll be nice also to turn people away. No, that's a bit sad of me, but I do like it. There's a nice moment where you can kind of get a one-up on a customer, and it's very rare.
Mike Ashley won't thank you.
Mike Ashley can because he's not my boss. That's the competitors.
I am my own boss.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, into today's topic, which is mental health in the media. I've already mentioned it, but I thought I'd tell you again. We're going to talk about obviously how the media presents mental health, and also certain public figures and the effects it's had on them. Obviously, we haven't got Kanye West to interview live on this podcast. If Kanye is listening and he doesn't want to get involved, I urge him to, because big name, and he's probably got quite a few stories to talk about. But we haven't, unfortunately. I've had to settle with Lewis from Wakefield. So, is what it is.
Aquith, mate, get it right.
Do you want to try your Kanye impression? You said you wanted to do a Kanye impression.
To be honest, I don't know what he sounds like. I actually don't know what he sounds like. I'd see videos of him and just scroll straight past it. Like, this is just going to be nonsense. But people always like it, and it's kind of... Because he's just a madhead, isn't he? But
why don't we start with him then, Kanye?
To be honest, I don't know much about him because I don't listen to him much. I don't listen to his music, and I don't follow him on Twitter or anything.
Tell you what, I've followed Kanye for a few years. I'm not going to say I'm a diehard fan because I'm not.
Yeah.
But I know enough about him and what he's managed to do because he's, you can hate him, love him, whatever. You've got to admit that he's a successful businessman. He was a man that was in debt a few years ago and now he's a billionaire. And he's one of these people that likes and let people know that he's a billionaire. I think he tweeted or something as soon as he was.
Yeah, he did.
He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a billionaire," or whatever. And it's it's a cool thing to boast about. I'm not going to lie, but it's probably not what people want to hear. I don't know how much he does for charity and stuff like that, so I don't really read into that.
No,
but Kanye West recently, as we are just filming this, is running for the 2020 presidential election, and he's just done a bizarre rally where he talks about killing his own daughter and a certain character from history that did quite a lot for black rights and saved a lot of slaves, and basically said that they were a bad person and that they weren't a hero. Which I'm sure he's probably got reasons behind that, but there's. I'm not saying there's not method to his madness because I reckon there probably is quite a lot of method, and he probably is quite a smart guy. I'm not saying he isn't, but a lot of people have tied it down to something that he's been sort of tied to for a few years, which is being bipolar. And
I didn't know that.
So his wife, his wife has spoken up about it, and everybody knows his wife, Kim Kardashian, has spoken up about how she has tried to get him help, but he's quite reluctant to. Which is you've still got it. You had to sleep that in, didn't you?
Try to get under the
radar. He's apparently refused help, which is. Awful because I think because he's such a hard-working individual, he's got so much on. I'm probably not surprised he's turned down help because it's probably just going to restrict him from any more growth because he's got a lot going on. He's announced that I think there's an album he's working on at the moment, or he's releasing a song at least tonight.
Is he?
Yeah, and
midnight job.
Yeah. So it's odd. It's odd, and he's just signed a new partnership So I think he's moving. I don't know if he's moving from Adidas. I think the Adidas are keeping Yeezys, but the Yeezy brand is moving or partnering with Gap, which is a bit unprecedented because I thought Gap was a bit out of trend now. But
yeah, I did.
When you think about Gap, you don't think Kanye West.
You don't see Gap much anymore, to be fair. I think I've seen anyone wear any Gap gear.
But to be fair, it's done them bits because they've gone up high in the stock market. So fair enough. But Kanye West is a weird one. He's had many outbursts, which I think a few of them have been publicised everywhere. There's obviously the famous Taylor Swift one.
That was slightly rude, but
I think it's just there's a lot of trouble to him. I know he's had quite a tragic. Life, and sometimes that can be responsible, but I don't really know what to say about Kanye West. The only thing I can really say is that there's a lot of people online that constantly criticize him, and that no matter who you are, no matter how strong and thick-skinned you are, that's gonna hurt. And having people constantly call you out as an idiot. That's a motivation to kind of prove him wrong, but at the same time, it's clearly having an effect on him. He's having, really, quite sad outbursts. If I do remember correctly, he spoke about his mental health issues on an album called. Let's have a look. It's a recent album. you'll notice my screen, my screen's just gone completely white, so has my face because I'm just searching right now. So let's have a look. It was a recent album. I want to get the title right because it's
not God
directly mentions his own mental health. Or maybe it doesn't. Oh no, it's the text on the album image. So this was released in I think 2018.
I don't know.
1st of June 2018. So it's a quite short album, 23 minutes. It's called Yay, right? And the image is basically mountains and grassland, and then in like green text it says, "I hate being bipolar. It's awesome." I mean, I kind of like that. It's just it's very Kanye.
Wit too.
Yeah, he's got a bit of wit. But I remember on that podcast he talks about very dark issues and his own sort of issues.
I liked it when he walked into a signpost. But, yeah, other than that,
I mean, there's a lot of memes to him, and fair enough. Like, I feel like, you know, to be able to stand all that shit, you've got to kind of. It probably messes you up a bit, but yeah, he's a weird one.
He's strange,
but I haven't really got too much to talk about him.
No,
in comparison
I
to
literally
the
have
others.
nothing about him.
He's I think he's, despite how public he is, I think he's still quite private about his own issues. And as are a lot of people, which is why we probably can't go into too many details. A lot of what we will say sometimes might be assumption,
or just wrong.
Yeah, that's like wrong. Anyway, I do want to go on to a topic which I think a lot of us will feel strongly about, and it's something that happened earlier on this year with the suicide of Caroline Flack, which of course is terribly sad. I mean, the fact that somebody has to take their own life because they feel that low is so sad. I mean, if you look at her Instagram a few days before, she seemed fine, and that's weird. Like, social media is such a front for stuff like that. It's such a fake area for people to kind of just prove that they're okay, but really you don't know what's going on. We'll cover that with the other people that we're going to talk about, but with Caroline Flack, there's so much to that which I mean just pisses me off. I mean, when you found out about Caroline Flack, obviously, being found dead, what was your first reaction?
I can't remember, to be honest, because I think I don't watch Love Island or anything like that, so obviously I knew what was happening with her because it news. But I think I remember because my mum was a fan of her, I think, and I think I remember going in and being like, because it happened at like, I don't know, it came on news, didn't it, and like the evening. I always just got in from work and I was like, "Mum, Caroline Flack's dead." And it was like a bit of silence. He's like, "No, shut up." I'm like, "Yeah, no, she's dead." And it was like, it's one of those weird ones. She's like, "Oh yeah, she's actually not going to be on telly anymore." Well, as weird as it sounds, but like someone who's like quite prominent and whatever, and is all over telly and all over Instagram and that. When you go on your search feed and you just get Caroline Flack, and then you go on Twitter and you get Caroline Flack, and then Caroline Flack's dead, and it's like, oh.
Yeah,
it's like a punch in the face.
Yeah, it's weird because I feel like there's a lot of people, celebrities wise, that you know of, and then you don't really pay much attention to.
Yeah, but when they go,
when you go, you feel it, and it's weird. It's like, obviously, that when you have a celebrity that you follow religiously, and then obviously something tragic happens to them, you become automatically obsessed with it. But even because when you aren't, obviously obsessed with that person, and you don't follow them all the time, it's weird how certain things click for you. And I mean, Caroline Flack, the only ever experiences I saw her, presenting, because that's what she was, a presenter, a British presenter, that took her own life earlier this year. The only experiences I had was probably from when I was younger, watching like X Factor.
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I didn't watch Love Island. I think I watched one episode and I got bored. I think my girlfriend at the time was trying to get me into it, and I was just not having any of it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a weird one. I mean, Love Island is seems to be plagued with having just this awful treatment of the people that have been on it. And it seems like a very strange program to even want to broadcast. I'm not criticizing it because I'm sure it's a very popular program, so it's doing something right, and it's bringing in a lot of jobs and money and stuff like that. But it's doing also a lot of just. I mean, I don't watch Love Island, but I know enough to know that it celebrates these ideas of perfect body image and just these toxic ideas that are just so outdated. And that when people leave, as with most, what do they call it? I want to get the word right. Reality TV show stars. They often seem quite, after they leave this program, they seem quite misguided. Now, I'm not saying that's completely the fault of the network, but there's definitely something that needs to be done. And especially in the Love Island front, because there has been other deaths tied to it as well.
Is it 3 or 2?
I think it's 3 at this point. Yeah.
You have to Google that. Yeah, I can say, because I know Mike, I'm not going to try and pronounce his second name. Sorry about it. That's not going to happen. I can't do that. But
so
there was a girl as well, wasn't there? I can't remember.
There's a girl called Sophie Graydon.
Yeah, that was it.
So yeah, and when she killed herself, I think it was when she killed herself. Let's have a look. I don't want to get this. I want to get this right.
Well, I don't know how long it's been going, to be honest. Like 2014.
Yeah. So Sophie Graydon took her own life. She'd been on the show. And she, in her final interview before her death, which by the sound of it was 3 months before she took her own life, she described the horrific bullying from saying that she was a victim of Love Island, and that she'd received horrific bullying as of leaving it. And that people were leaving negative comments all the time and stuff like that.
Molly May.
What do you mean, Molly May?
Well, that's what's happening to her, isn't it? Right.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. People were leaving hate comments.
I wasn't trying to be funny. I was just
No. Molly May's been receiving comments. I saw something about that. It's about fat shaming, I think.
Well, loads, but you look at her and you just think, I don't see any fat.
I mean, even if there is a bit of fat, there's no problem with it. She's a beautiful girl. I'm not going to criticize.
No,
it's mental. It's people, that put those kind of comments that just have absolute low lives. Anyway.
No, but they live in like a Love Island world where everyone's got like abs. Yeah.
So but then that's the thing. For training for Love Island, they must train hard before they go on it.
Yeah,
it's like, they're always at the physical peak. I mean, they must get their haircut every fucking 2 days. I mean, they've constantly got a skin fade, so I don't know how that works. So then 9 months later, after
they're all Barbies.
Graydon was found dead. On March 16th, 2019, news broke that Love Island contestant Mike, and I'm gonna butcher this. Phalacitis. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'll be honest. Someone will probably correct me. If that's wrong, I apologise. But he appeared on the 2017 season of Love Island, and was found dead in a park by a jogger near his North London home. And an inquest then did confirm that he did die by suicide. And I think the problem with reality TV shows are, especially with Love Island, because it's so big.
It is, yeah.
People go on Love Island and they come out of Love Island, and they get like tens of thousands at least of followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people say they just go on Love Island for that and for like these ads and stuff like that. But it's a weird thing to go from a complete stranger to the general public. to go to a like overnight sensation, overnight.
I mean, when
celebrity.
you think about it, though, that's like a lot of young people's dreams, isn't it? You know, going on telly for like what, 2 weeks, is it?
Yeah, and then becoming a celebrity.
Well, yeah, celebrity.
And it's I mean, is it an easy way to become famous? I probably don't think so.
Oh,
There's a lot of
well,
dedication.
no, because it's not really like you're not famous because you know. I mean, some people would be famous, you know, for anything, and that's where reality TV shows come from. And people want to be famous just to be famous, and that's what reality TV is. And then you've got people who are famous because they're a singer or whatever.
Yeah.
It's two different levels of it. Isn't it?
It's so strange.
But yeah, it's a
And
weird program.
it is sad. And then obviously then we follow that up by the sad death of Caroline Flack. Which
Yeah.
I mean is just awful.
It's like one of those
There was
dumb moments. It's one of those dumb moments where you just go, "Oh yeah, they're actually not going to be back." You know what I mean? There.
Yeah. It's weird.
You know, she's not taking a break from telly. She's not gone on holiday for ages. She's actually never, you know, ever going to be there again.
So all of
It's
it
like,
kind
wow.
of arose from controversy. I don't remember I think it was December when the news broke about Caroline
Was it
Flack
the assaulting her boyfriend? Was it?
with a lamp. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
When the news broke up about that, I'll be honest, I was a bit taken aback. You don't expect that from somebody that poses themselves as a really, really bubbly and positive person, and then to now be accused of that is
it was a bit weird.
Scary, and obviously I had these negative thoughts, and I was like, oh Jesus, like.
I think everyone did, didn't they? I mean,
And at
no
that
one
point,
can be like.
I was like, I think I saw a lot of people saying that she doesn't deserve a chance in television again, because if it was a man, that they wouldn't get the same chances, you know, that if that she possibly would, because she's a woman that she could get away with it. I think that's bullshit. Did she deserve another chance in television? I don't know. It's a tough one.
It was a one-time thing, wasn't it?
I think it would have required an inquest. And
was there alcohol involved? There always is with them kind of things.
There was
or drugs or whatever. Yeah. But I mean, with things like that, you can always kind of go. I mean, it's never to be excused, but it's like if it's a one-time thing, and if they genuinely, you know, are sorry for it, because you know, there's loads of people in history who were famous, but were just terrible fucking people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we all make mistakes, and yeah, it's a massive mistake. It's whether or not you let your private life interfere with your, you know, the public one. It's a difficult one. I mean, obviously, then the boyfriend came out about it and was like, "I don't want to press charges," but by then the damage had been done.
Yeah, not by him or anyone else, just by people on the internet
and the media. And this is where we tie back to the title, mental health in the media. The media is one of the... I think
just call this podcast #Fuck the Sun. I think that should be the name of this podcast.
I think I've spoken about the media before, and how awful they are. But they are just, I mean, I'm hoping to go into an industry where I will interact with the media, because it's sort of in the job that I want to do. It's sort of what I want to do. But at the moment, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. I'm not saying the media is completely corrupt, because I reckon there's still a lot of good in there. But
there's actual journalists in there somewhere.
You know, I think we should probably talk about the Sun, because that stuff does kind of piss me off.
The Sun and the Daily Mail, and it's just terrible.
It's one of the dailies. I think they published a few days before Caroline Flack's death, Valentine's cards that made fun of the incident with Caroline Flack. Yeah. And it was something like, you know, I don't know, I think they made jokes like headlines like Caroline Whack and stuff like that. And like,
I think it was Caroline Whack.
Yeah, and that's a few days before she killed herself. And it's like, and then they removed the article as soon as the thing, like covering themselves. But by then the damage had been done.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, you see it all the time. I mean, it's nothing to do with Caroline Flack or anything like that, but it's I'm sure there's been some. It's like from like the fashion editors and stuff. I'm not going to name names, Dan Wooten, but you see stuff. He people like that post, and it's just like hawky looking. For example, Molly May in bikini on holiday. That's the type of thing. It's just you see articles like that. It's just like, what? No.
I mean, we think we can all admit to hating Dan Wooten at one point, even if it was being
Yeah.
tortured by him on Lorraine.
I was more a fan of a Liam Gallagher's tweet sign, but
no, that's why. That's one fan why. That's one reason why. Well, one of the many reasons why I'm a fan of Liam over Noel.
I believe the tweet was obese in block capitals LGX.
I don't think he ever came back at that. I think once
No, he
he'd
never
been
did.
called obese, but then again, right? Is that just as bad?
Well, it is, yeah.
I mean, he's sort of like going to the same level, isn't he? I mean, I get the point. He is a joke. I don't think he's doing it to kind of in the same sort of sense as they are, but he's still using his massive platform as a way to kind of get at somebody else.
I mean, the way you can see it though is Dan Wooten wrote that article about someone for people to see. I mean, Liam Gallagher could have just, plead stupidity and go, "Oh, I just tweeted obese because I was drunk."
Yeah. And also those articles are written to make money.
Yeah, someone's gone.
They're monetizing over someone's misfortune. So there's definitely different levels to it. Yeah. So
we can talk about. I know it's not what we're on about today, but like when they talk about like football, Raheem Sterling, stuff they used to write about, and like any of them, man, like Mesut Ozil drives £300,000 car. It's not been cleaned. Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Stuff like that. What was that thing? Was it Raheem Sterling? He's a multi-millionaire, but he goes on holiday in Jet 2. Like, who the fuck cares? You know what I mean?
Like it doesn't fucking matter. And it's like that. Unfortunately, that's the stuff that gets clicks because I don't know. It's a headline like that. It's sort of
dumb headline, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just. I mean, it's weird because that's the news now. That somebody gets on a fucking plane and that's the news, rather than talking about these amazing stories. Unfortunately, they have to do what gets clicks.
What I loved about that was actually from like I think the Sun Sport page. So that was in a newspaper somewhere in the sports column where you'd expect like the Premier League table, who's signing who's playing well, who's got player of the month, who do you think is going to be like a rising star, and then Sterling gets on a plane and Jet 2. Such a waste of just ink.
Yeah,
that's the Sun. The Sun in general is a waste of ink. If you're watching this, Rupert Murdoch,
fuck off. With Caroline Flack, there was a lot of anger online that she wouldn't be treated the same way as a man would, if a man did the same thing. Which, in my opinion, I get where people are coming from because there's an idea now that, at least from what I've seen online, that people expect that men get treated differently men get treated differently to women and vice versa in terms of the things that they do and the prosecutions. There's evidence behind that, but then, I think a lot of it is biased and they use certain statistics that work in their favour, so I'm not sure how accurate it really is.
It's strange.
It's strange that whole situation. I remember it was just a week or maybe 2 weeks later after Caroline Flack did pass away. I went and saw the Steve Coogan film in cinemas called Greed, which it's an all right film. I mean, it's all right. Stephen Coogan films go. It's not up there, but it's all right. Actually, the only good thing in it is the guy who plays your buddy G and People Just Do Nothing. I think it's Sim Chandri or something. He plays a lion tamer, and that's gold. Caroline Flack makes an appearance in that as herself, and it's so strange. It's like she looks so bubbly and happy in that, and it just kind of rubs in the fact that you don't really know what is going on inside someone's head, no matter how public they are. Often,
it's like
the most public people are the most private.
It's like Heath Ledger as the Joker. That film came out just after he died, didn't it? So you never actually got to see it. You never actually got to see what he did, which is quite sad.
I can't remember. How did he die?
Killed himself now. Overdose, I believe.
It probably was something like that. Some look.
Because that role, I mean, I know it's not on the topic, I'm sorry, but that role caused him to have like loads of psychotic kind of issues. I mean, it's one of my favourite, probably my favourite performance of anyone ever in a film. The acting in that's superb, steals every scene he's in. But I imagine
accidental drug overdose, which led to a cardiac arrest.
Like I was 6 when that film came out, so I obviously didn't see it in the cinema at the time. So I only watched it like a few years back. So obviously watching it, I'd know Heath Ledger was dead, so it wasn't weird for me.
Yeah.
But imagine when that film came out and he died like the week before or whatever. Imagine that was quite weird. Like the same thing as Caroline Flack, because he was obviously a big star in the 2000s. Brokeback Mountain, Knight's Tale, all those kind of films were big in.
Yeah, I mean, he was literally, I think he was on his way to become one of the, biggest actors in Hollywood.
That role would have done it, because I reckon he'd have been in the sequel.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
He'd have been in loads of Batman films. He'd have been the only Joker, I think. I think they'd have.
Yeah.
I think if they made any Batman films since, which they are doing, I think he'd have been the Joker in every single one that wanted a Joker character.
We definitely wouldn't have had Joaquin
Jared Leto. Or Jared Leto.
Yeah, well, Jared Leto, yeah. I think that's probably that would have been the biggest relief. But yeah, no, it's a strange one. Anyway, let's talk about Kasabian and their lead man. I want you to talk about this because you know more about Kasabian than me.
Yeah, well, Tom Meehan, I think that's how you say it. Tom Meehan, I think that's how you say it. I can't remember. I think it was a few weeks ago now. It was quick on it, but he got found guilty of when drunk beating his wife up, I believe. I don't know the extent to which he did it.
I heard at one point he dragged her.
He dragged her along, and his child actually had to call the police.
Which how young is the child?
Younger than 10, which is obviously really dramatic. But I think because he's not an old guy. But so that happened in April. I think it was like on April so and so he did this or whatever in the thing. But then obviously Kasabian, the account, tweeted and put on Instagram. I can't remember the exact tweet.
Tom was leaving the band or something.
Tom's leaving the band, and it was basically like due to his mental health and his alcohol problems, his behaviour has been like intolerable, and we can't continue with him. So as a band, we're leaving him, kind of thing. And everyone hated that. Everyone were like, "Oh, you've left your mate behind there.
Yeah, you can't go on without him
when he needs you most." And you're all mates, and because Kasabian had been a band as like kids, they've known themselves as friends from like high school, and then gone on to make a band. I think that's how that happened. But and then everyone's like, "Oh, you've let your mate down. He's your mate, and you've left him behind to be, ruined by journalists, and he needs support from everyone, and you've left him behind," kind of thing. And like Kasabian didn't respond to this because in the statement they literally said, "We will not be commenting further."
Yeah.
And then on that same day, I don't follow his actual account, but Tom Meehan tweeted about saying thank you to all the lovely messages, because everyone was like, "Hope Tom's doing okay, bringing back stronger" type thing. And it was like he was like, "Thanks for all the lovely," the standard like the thanks for all the lovely messages. Hope I'm doing okay now. Hopefully can move forward from this. Basically saying him and his fiance, I think not wife. I said wife. I meant fiance. Are back together and they're like working forward as a couple type thing. So like all the fans were like really happy for him and stuff. And then literally the next day he went to court to testify. He did it, and then he got loads of shit for saying he misled the fans and all that kind of thing. And like got branded as a woman beater, horrible man, alcoholic, abusive, unstable, knobhead, misleading the fans, liar, lying, cheat, and things like that. So it changed in literally a day. The perception of him.
It's weird because I feel like they put that message out, believing that the fans deserve to know everything, when in reality they don't need to know everything.
Yeah.
Obviously, they kept it back, and I think they kept it back as long as they could.
They commented on it again after. I'll have to go off camera for this, but they
commented about how they were disappointed in how Tom handled it, which I sort of agree with, because there's definitely a lot of there's something odd going on there. I mean, you personally, how can you listen to Kasabian now?
I can. I can. It's
I
not
mean,
like,
it's weird. It's weird.
It's not listening to Gary Glitter. There is like a feeling
Yeah.
around it. It's not like he's committed murder or anything. He's not. It's like it's obviously terrible and it's awful and it's like home wrecking. Well, not home wrecking. That's Ariana Grande. But like I don't know what the word is, like family splitting, I suppose, if you're going to get technical about it. But the Kasabian statement is, no one in the band wanted this to happen. We've all worked so hard for the past 23 years and big plans for our future. We're heartbroken. We left no choice but to ask Tom to leave. No way we can condone assault. Domestic violence and abuse of any kind is unacceptable. I'm butchering reading this. So as soon as we found out the charges made against Tom, as a band, we made the decision we could no longer work with him. Fortunately, we had to hold this back until he was found guilty in court. We were led to believe Tom would hold his hands up in his statement, tell everyone what he'd done, but he chose not to, misleading lots of fans. Ultimately, as much as Tom has hurt us all, we're not a victim in all of this. Domestic violence is something that can never be excused. Thank you for support. See you all soon, Xavier. So it's a weird one. It's not like a conclusive statement. I mean, everyone thought he got drunk, basically, and had an argument with Serge, the other main guy, Xavier, the guy with like the crazy hair. The guitarist, them two are like the partners, like the Liam and the Noel. Not like they fight, they're just like the main two, the front men.
Yeah.
And like everyone thought they'd have like a scrap or whatever, falling out big time, and that was it. That's how it ended, kind of thing. Because he said like his behaviour. I think that's what made people think, oh, he's he got drunk and they've had an argument type thing. Because obviously, I think Xavier got quite a reputation as like a big party band, haven't they?
Yeah. It's. I mean, obviously, you were talking how you can still listen to him. I think that's the right thing to do. I mean, you can't just stop listening to someone that.
I mean,
especially if you're a fan. Do you know what I mean?
I'm a fan. They're a brilliant band and one of my favourites, and they're a band you can really listen to. And we've got a good variety, to be fair.
Yeah, they're definitely. I agree with you, but I feel like now, unfortunately, as with most artists, that I mean, I say most artists, but I'd say a lot of artists
stigmatism next to
it. They now have that now attached to them, and not their previous successes. And there's cases of that all around music. I mean, talking about Gary Glitter, I mean that's deserved. I mean that guy doesn't fucking deserve any sort of replaying of his music,
unless you're directing Joe.
Exactly, but then I mean it's an artistic choice. I get it, but I didn't really agree. Personally, I didn't really agree with it because he was still monetizing off that. He was still making money off that. Because Joker was such a success, I don't actually know how much money he got from that, but he still made money from it.
I mean, he'll never touch that money, but
well, I bloody hope he won't. But it still doesn't really sit right with me that it could. Do you know what I mean?
If he got out, he could have access to the money from it. But.
Yeah, and he probably made a shitload. Because think how iconic that scene was, and think how much money that film made.
Yeah, I mean they could have. Yeah.
So I don't know how it works, but I don't know. There's a bit of crumminess to that.
It's a strange one, but that's for another podcast.
Yeah.
Different guest.
Yeah. Let's talk about a guy that is close to my hearts. Hearts, I only have one, but I imagine he's close to everybody's hearts.
You're like a cow. Cows have 3 stomachs. I mean...
that guy is Mr. Robin Williams. A guy that I think we all wish we could be as funny as, but we just aren't.
No.
I mean, the weird thing is with Robin Williams, obviously I didn't grow up with too many of his films.
No, he's a bit before us, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, but the thing is, I used to watch the Night at the Museums all the time when I was a kid.
Yeah, trees in that. I mean, his peak was like the 90s.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't catch him in his peak. I've never watched Mrs. Doubtfire.
Really?
No, never seen it. I mean, people make references all the time.
Fantastic.
I'm like, yeah, I know. I need to watch it.
It's fantastic. It'll be sad now, though.
Yeah, I know. It's but I mean, the absolute tragicness to that is it's not even like. I mean, I think a lot of people when they think of Robin Williams, they still associate his death with like old age.
Yeah, he was only like 56.
Yeah, exactly. So he wasn't that old, but then you sort of associate it. Someone so positive, you don't imagine something so negative to come out of his life.
Yeah, like one of the most not eccentric, just like upbeat.
It's so bizarre to me because, you know, I'm not sure how long he was going on with it and these issues in his head, but he did end up killing himself, which is terrible. But it's weird how he plays. As we were saying, that public image can often contrast so much to your private image. And, we always report on the public image. We never report on the private image, obviously, because we never get to find that out, but we're never considerate of it. And it's weird how he can go from, I think came out after his death, Night at the Museum 3, whatever. And he plays, who does he play?
It's like a
president, doesn't he? He plays...
Yeah,
is it Roosevelt?
Possibly. Is that a guy with a mustache? I don't know.
I think it's Teddy Roosevelt because they keep calling Ted or whatever.
I haven't seen this film.
Yeah, no, he plays a really just upbeat character, and then that came out after his death, and I remember watching that, and it was bizarre because you don't imagine someone so positive to be so troubled. And it's a really sad instance.
Yeah.
And it really just makes you think, is fame really what? Because a lot of people think, fame is what they want. That's what they want to pursue. But is it?
Yeah.
I mean, let me pose a question to you. Do you reckon you could handle fame?
I don't know. How much fame? Like,
okay,
celebrity A-list fame.
So I'm gonna put you on the same kind of pedestal as somebody else, so that you kind of, I'd say as famous as, and in the same point of your career as someone like who's new to the music scene and really big, Lewis Capaldi. So he's become like really big, really, really quickly.
Really quick, yeah.
I think from the way I've seen, he seems to be handling it quite all right.
Yeah, I don't think he's someone who'd. Well, you don't know.
I mean, could you personally handle that sort of
that kind of thing? I don't know. I mean, it'd be a bit weird.
You don't have to be a musician. Obviously, you can be any.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of them. I mean, that's my only personality trait. So cool. I think with his kind of fame, I think the realization of how famous he is will hit him later. I don't think it'll sink in straight away because it's your album's gone straight to number one. Oh, you're now going on a world tour for 2 years. Oh, and now you're back, and now you're having a break because you're that exhausted from doing a 2-year world tour. Oh yeah, I've got like 50 million listens on Spotify. Oh shit, I'm quite famous.
Yeah.
It's one of them, I think. I don't think
he's very much. It doesn't seem to be like taking it seriously, which
I quite like.
Yeah, I rate him for that. His music's all right. It's not the best in my opinion.
Yeah,
but I reckon I rate it. It's just
you've got to respect the geezer, man. He's seems like a total.
His banter is top. Is up there.
Top tier.
He's just king of shit hours, really.
Yeah, he really is. Rest in peace, Noel Gallagher.
But I don't think I could handle it, to be honest, that level of fame that quickly.
I mean, there's examples, isn't there, of people who can't. Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
Amy Winehouse is probably the most mainstream, and
it's funny you say that. It's today's 9 years since her death.
It is. I saw that on Instagram, I think. Yeah. I thought it was longer than that.
Obviously, I wasn't there for that, but man, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Amy.
Yeah.
Fucking I don't know. She's got that kind of voice that is just angel-like and
soulful.
Yeah, man. It's one of those. It's one of those people that you just don't think you can ever replace. I mean, I saw somebody say that recently they're going to do bring her back for a tour where she was a hologram.
Oh, like they did for Elvis.
I don't see the point in that. Like, I feel that's a bit disrespectful. Like,
they did it with Elvis, I think. With that Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, they did like Elvis projected onto the stage. Yeah,
they do that with many people. I don't really agree with it. It just seems a bit tacky, bit of a cash grab. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if it was done with the right intentions, done for the charities, which the right charities, then yeah, fair enough. But it won't be. It will just be for
selling
a
albums.
monetary gain, yeah. And it's like, it's not what we want. It's not what we need. And
but yeah, sad one that. I think she could have been. I think she'd have still been great now. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, yeah, I don't know. She had a reputation for being quite a troubled person, which sort of made her more of an entertainer and performer. Really, kind of added to her character. But then there's that. I mean, as you can see,
made her more of a human pop star.
Yeah. But
she had it showing like the news, obviously.
Yeah, it shows
the media again.
And it links to media, yeah, because, you know, the media are constantly reporting on it and all the scandals and stuff like that.
Snapping pictures of her coming out of some, like, decrepit old house in London, like, with eyeliner all down her face and wearing yesterday's clothes type thing.
Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with wearing yesterday's clothes, so...
No.
I don't know.
Tuesday's clothes. Yeah.
I don't know. I think I've just got... I mean, if it makes you feel any better, I don't wash my... All right. I was about to reveal something there, and then you there,
Taylor? Yeah.
I think you froze whilst you were drinking water.
It's not water. It's hard booze.
Sorry. I thought you just tried down it. Sorry.
See it off. Literally got like an inch of it left.
You said you wanted to speak about someone. Mr. Stan Collymore.
Oh yeah, I can't remember. To be honest, I don't know that much about him. I know he was the footballer in the 90s, I think, 2000s. But I just remember I remember watching that GMB interview he did. Have you seen it with Piers? Classic. I think they got into like a massive argument about like stiff upper lips and being a footballer and being like a hairy-chested like man who wins trophies and, you know, he runs around and he gets with all the pretty girls because he's the best athlete. And, you know, like Cristiano Ronaldo, basically. You know what I mean? Being that guy who's the best player in the world or whatever. Messi's better. But being the guy who's the peak of physical form, he's got 3% body fat. He's tall. He's handsome. He's got a really nice car. He's got nice houses. He's got models every week. Plays for like, you know, best team in the world, whatever. Juventus. But I think the argument was Stan Collymore was like, it's just not true. Like, footballers are, you know, obviously loads of people's idols. You know, little lads and lasses are idols. You know, because that's always going to be a thing. Footballers are all, kids will always have their favourite footballer and will always want to buy that footballer's shirts and run around pretending they're that footballer, and that's the best thing ever. But I think Stan Collymore's argument was they're actually humans, not just like people you watch on telly who run around for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And, you know, because I think the perception of footballers is they go on the pitch, they get paid loads of money to do it, they kick a ball about, they score a really good goal, they win a trophy, they go off the pitch and then they do nothing. Their personality is empty until they go back on telly, but then they actually go home and have like wife and kids and cook tea, you know, live a life and go to the shop every day. And, you know, I think rather than just these superhumans who appear on tellies every night, to kick a ball about and then go back off. And you don't hear them and then they come back. I think.
No, you're right.
I think his argument was like, they're actually humans who have feelings. And it's quite a tough industry to be in, I imagine.
Yeah.
Especially with the racism in football now, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, did you see the who was it? I saw somebody, a footballer got sent these completely racist messages on Instagram by this like 12-year-old boy.
David McGoldrick, Sheffield United.
Was it him?
That's the one I've seen. That was quite recent.
It could have been.
It was like a message using every single like racist slur in the, you know, in the book.
I might have been another one that I saw.
Because Sheffield United tweeted saying we do not condone this and like a support message for McGoldrick kind of thing. Yeah,
it's I mean, it's mad how you can get so racist and aggressive over a fucking kicking a ball around. Like, that's me dumbing it down, but like, that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not making an excuse for racism in any instance, but like over that is mental. Like, full on mental. I'm trying to find right now where this tweet is, but
I witness it at work, man. Like, I've had casual racism, isn't it? It's like at work. This bloke, I was telling him the system of how we come into our shop. I'm not going to say where I work. They want some weirdo find it. But and I was letting him in basically. We've got rules obviously to come in, and there's a way system, etc. And then I was, he was doing all that, doing the system. He was following the system perfectly fine. He wasn't being an idiot about it. Everyone's got idiots, haven't they? And then he was like, I'm going to use verbatim what he said here because I can remember it, and it is offensive language. So it's not what I think; it's the views of another person I'm quoting. So don't think I'm being offensive. If you tune into this and this is the first thing you hear, I am sorry, but it's not me. He said, "Them got a lot to answer for," and then just walked off. It's just stuff like that. And
I mean, that's literally like that guy probably thought saying that was completely acceptable and normal.
Yeah, because he just said it to me, someone he's never met before.
Yeah,
he's literally giving him a basket to walk into a shop. Right.
Jesus, I mean, what? It's so weird how someone can be so openly racist to someone they don't even know.
Yeah, imagine what it's like with his friends.
I mean, yeah, exactly. It's probably like 10 times worse. I've had a look at that footballer, by the way, Wilfried Zaha.
That's it.
Because
there's loads. That proves how much there is if we got mixed up.
They got sent. Well, I'm not going to read out what they said, but they sent pictures of people what it looks like in blackface. Derogatory terms and pictures of people at a KKK meeting, whatever. I mean, it looks awful, so I'm not going to stare at it much longer. But it's, I mean, that person, Zaha, put that on Twitter. And,
a lot of footballers now just call it out, which is really good.
Yeah, it needs to be said. I mean, I'm ashamed. I mean, we're getting onto the topic of racism now, but we are still talking about people who are, within, in that public spotlight, and they're getting harassed. I was going to go talk about there's the Leeds goalkeeper that was openly racist on the pitch.
Is that Casilla? Ex-Real Madrid
I don't know what's happening with him now. Personally, I don't think you deserve a second chance. If you're going to be that openly racist, and you pay the consequences for it. But match bans shouldn't be the consequence. A full-on ban. I get it's someone's career. Let's have a look. He was banned for using the N-word.
Yeah, I remember it.
That's literally the headline. He was banned for using the N-word. Jesus, I mean, the language is awful. Yeah, but I don't know. People like that, man. I mean, I'm a Leeds supporter, but I'm not a fucking fan of him.
I do like how footballers still call it out, but then again, the authorities, the football governing bodies, don't seem to still do anything.
Yeah.
It's like they keep saying, "Oh, it's down to the club." It's like, well, is it?
No, they've got to take some responsibility.
They've got to take some responsibility, but then the governing body's like, "Oh no, it's the club's fault." No, so the FA can't do anything about it.
Yeah, it's.
But then it's like, because they get, I don't know I think it's changed a bit now after the mass outrage. It definitely happens in Italy still. Obviously, Italy is known for racism in football matches. But they're obviously now it's like black players have kind of come out and united together and said, if you get racially abused, walk off the pitch and refuse to come back on, which is absolutely fair enough. But it's happened in Italy. It's happened in this country as well. They got like red carded for refusing to play because, and like there's videos of like a guy clearly explaining to the referee, I've been racially abused. I'm not standing for it. I'm not playing while you do it. Like Mario Balotelli actually in France.
Right.
I think he played in France. I don't know if when he played in France a few years back. I don't know if he still plays. I can't remember. Obviously, a well-known black footballer. He was racially abused, and he was like, "Well, I'm not coming back on," because Mario Balotelli is very outspoken in football. If you don't know who he is, he's quite a controversial figure himself. But
very controversial haircuts as well.
Yeah, well, he set fireworks off in his own bathroom, but might be bogged down. He's a controversial figure himself, but he's always been outspoken about that kind of thing in football. So that's great. But he sounded very patronising. But he refused to go back on the pitch, and then he got red carded for it, even though it's clear why he was doing it, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
We've gone off topic a bit, but
we have. But
we've got into Real Madrid goalkeepers.
Yeah, we can probably finish this right now, to be honest, because I don't want to go into too many. We could probably be here all day talking about every individual story and our own opinions and on it, and there's a lot to it, and I think although we can sort of take a bit of responsibility and go, we should probably be more careful about what we say to people who, because we don't know what's going on. And this is not just to people who are celebrities and stuff like that. It's like you should be more careful to who you're saying anyway, no matter who, how famous they are. It works both ways. Yeah. Just because they're, no matter, basically, this is my point. No matter how popular, famous, well-known they are, you treat people the same way.
Yeah, everyone's human, isn't it?
Just because somebody is famous and they've got bodyguards around them doesn't mean that they're going to be protected from words. Protected from punches, but not protected from words. So,
exactly.
It's weird.
Or if you're a politician, you're not protected from milkshakes either, if you're a politician. But
Exactly. So,
that's a flash.
Should we just link that now? In the
just like clip it.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I can't now. I don't want to get copyright. We get copyrighted by the Daily Mail or something. So
that'll be a shame.
It would be. Yeah, I know.
I don't know any Daily Mail journalists.
They'd probably fucking copyright a charity podcast, wouldn't they? So.
But true, this is for charity.
It is for charity. I mean, I'll say for charity. We're not raising any money yet, but if at any point any money does come in, which I don't know how or if it even would, but if it does, it's going straight to charity. This is not profitable for me. Yeah,
help these blokes out. I'm not a permanent guest. I don't think as of yet. I've not secured that. But yeah.
Well, I would like to get a permanent guest on here at one point because it is nice. I think all I've done is one-to-one chats. And
that doesn't make him a guest, does it? Permanent guest, just a resident.
Yeah, well, yes.
I'm more of a squatter.
Yeah, you're a squatter that's come, and then I'll kick out eventually when I get someone better.
Urban Womble.
When Lawrence McKenna becomes available, then I'll kick you out.
Urban Womble.
God. See, that's such a niche joke that nobody will get.
No one will get that, and we'll just think we're absolutely.
If you type in Urban Womble, will it come up?
I doubt it.
Urban Womble.
I think when you Google Richard Miller, I think about 5 images.
Let's have a look.
For anyone who doesn't know, it's something Richard Madeley said in a video.
They haven't.
If you don't know who Richard Madeley is, you are missing out, I'm afraid.
Urban Womble is you'll have to find that out yourself. That'll be your little.
To find it. Clue is Richard Madeley.
Richard Madeley in Urban Womble. If you find it, it's a gold mine. You're welcome. So yeah, that's the end of today's podcast. It's been a joy. We've just talked about anything that's come up and certain things that we're passionate about, and obviously there's things that we've missed, but that's bound to happen.
This one's going to be the least popular because we've just waffled on for ages.
Yeah, no, it's just waffling. But the thing is, I want to do more podcasts sometimes. if that's all right, where we just kind of do waffle
We'll
and
have
we just
to,
talk about stuff
we'll
because
have
it's
to
nice just to have
allocate
a
more time.
conversation.
Let's
Yeah,
allocate more time in future and just have a fucking big chat. And when we can all actually get into a room together, it'll be more like that.
yeah, exactly. If we can get like a good group of, well, I'm not saying it's not a good group, but I'm saying if we get a group of people, together, and we each had a subject that we'd researched each and talked about, I think that'd be a good way to kind of go about a podcast. So we'll try and get something like that sorted soon. But yeah, no, whilst I've enjoyed the one-to-one chats, I would like to kind of expand the horizons and like into how we can sort of expand the podcast and do more of it, because I've done, this will be the 6th one, I believe now.
Oh yeah.
And I know. So, and they're coming out weekly. So I'm pretty well ahead in the future right now.
The first one I've listened to, the one that's out now, is the most serious thing ever, and it was really good. I really did enjoy it. And it was very serious, and the like occasional light-hearted moments. People are going to watch this and think, "What an absolute shit show!"
Yeah, they're going to watch this one, right?
I'll listen to it.
They're going to listen to the first one and go, "Oh, what are they doing recently?" And then they scroll up and they see this one. They go, "Oh, let's have a look," and then just think, "What the fuck? What happened in these 5 episodes?"
And they'll fast forward and just hit Urban Womble, and they'll just turn off.
Although you saying that derogatory term.
Yeah, if they fast forward, I do apologise.
You know what? I might just I'll bleep it for you so you don't get cursed and clipped.
No, because then they'll think I've said something worse.
Well, yeah, but you could do that with anything.
True, you could edit the name of the other podcast out.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that bit. Don't worry. Anyway, it's been nice. It's been nice talking. I do want to obviously talk about more issues.
This has been a catch up for everyone.
Basically, we've
not spoken. So yeah, get talking.
Well, on chat, get speaking to your mates, because it does help.
Because that is why,
nice.
if you're wondering, this is why this has been such a shit show, because me and Taylor aren't actually friends in real life.
Yeah, no, we hate each other really.
We're a pair of idiots.
Yeah.
That's why this has been such a mess, because we just
pretending to like each other.
Imagine if we would have recorded the other hour and a half where I'm just talking about us just shite before we decided to
just talking about what's on your desk.
There's a lot of stuff on here, mate. There's a lot of stuff on here. Could do it. I might do a video next podcast. What's in Lewis's desk?
What desk reveal?
Desk reveal. It's got a good desk, to be fair.
You can use a camera from college.
I've got 5 shelves on this.
Guys, if we get 10 likes on this podcast, Lewis has to do a desk reveal, and it has to be featured in the next podcast.
Yeah.
The next podcast that makes sense. So you might be waiting a while for that one, but
we'll do one of these every month. You'll build up a nice series of serious ones. Interject it with just this.
Yeah, this is like that's a good point. We could do like a dumb one every so often.
Well, because you've got we need to talk about the serious subjects, and we have actually covered some serious subjects.
Oh, we have. It's just we
can be serious. We have waffled though.
But
that's just us to a T. But
yeah,
it's good to waffle. Just talk.
You can't always be completely serious. I think it just gets boring then. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this, please let me know. And get talking to your mates. And it's going to be
what we've done. You've basically
better time. As well, just before I do go, I want to say to anybody listening, you can now send messages, voice messages, to the podcast using the Anchor link, which should be in the description of anything you're streaming on. So just go check that out. And if not, just type in Talking Head Podcast. You should find it from there on Anchor, and then you can send a message. And basically what we can do then is obviously react to it live. If you've got a question, we can listen to it, and we can do it that way. If you don't feel comfortable using your own voice, just send us a message on Instagram. Let us know if you want to be anonymous.
He'll read it out.
And we'll read it out and we'll answer it. If you've got any topic suggestions, send that over as well, because that would be appreciated. And if you want to get involved in the podcast, let me know that too. I've had quite a few people come towards me, and it's been nice just speaking to people that I know, but also complete strangers, and it's nice.
Send your topic ideas to me, and I'll pass them off as my own.
Well, try not to do that.
This week. I'm sorry.
You're just making my editing harder. Anyway, do you want to plug anything before you go, or are you gonna be alright?
I've got nothing to plug, to be honest. get talking. You talk to your mates, have a good time, be good people, speak to everyone nice, do all that, and just have a good time, enjoy yourself, but responsibly.
Right.
Think biker.
So that's going to be the end of a very long outro, but yeah. Took about 10 minutes to do that outro, probably longer than a podcast. Anyway,
probably about 20 minutes of this you can use.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, thank you for listening, guys, and if you did enjoy, share it.
Last few messages. Just fuck the sun, fuck the mail, about it,
and fuck Dan Wootton as well.
Yeah.
Is it Wootton or Wootton?
I don't know. It's the worst name ever.
As well, we do mean no harm by this podcast.
Be
all
kind.
Our opinions are our own. But yeah, just try be kind. But also, Dan Wootton, can you also try be kind, because you're not doing like good of a job. Thank you for listening, guys. And
Lorraine doesn't deserve you. Lorraine doesn't deserve you.
Exactly. Yeah. Get me on there. Come on. We know somebody that will be good.
Get on Loose Women where you belong.
My editing's going to be so difficult now. I'm going to go beep. No, yeah.
You're going to edit this bit out.
Just say the joke again.
What was the joke?
Dan Wootton's going to be in pantomime.
Yeah, Dan Wootton's going to be in pantomime. That's his future.
Yeah, 100%. Absolute clown.
What? You're going to have to edit this bit out. So just from here, beep. The wombats, the bassist from the wombats. If you Google a picture of him, he looks exactly like but with hair.
Don't believe you.
Just search wombats, and his name is Todd, because he's Norwegian. You're going to have to bleep all this out, by the way. But tell me he doesn't.
In the face, he does, yeah.
He's not got like, if Dan had hair like that, emo fringe. It'd be Todd from.
Jesus Christ. Right, that's enough. I should probably sign it off. Thank you for listening, guys. It's been a pleasure having you join us. And again, if you did enjoy and you want to share the love, then please do. Every share counts, because every share means a potential new listener, and a potential new listener means potentially helping out in some way. So thanks for listening, guys, and hopefully I'll see you in another episode. Right, cheers. Bye-bye.
Thank you.